guys. And you always say hey everyone.
Okay, let's go again.
Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Okay.
See, she changed to my version.
Yeah. How are you guys doing? If this is your first time tuning into our channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, do not
support us.
That's the way I wanted to
That's
say.
what she's saying.
Also, do not forget to turn on the post notification bell. That's because it notifies you whenever we drop a new video. So the video I'm making today is about the resident permit application to get to Sweden. You guys have asked us a lot of times to make this video, and finally
we are doing
have
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying at least.
So if you want to know everything about how to get to Sweden, you want to know anything about how to get your resident permit or how to get your visa, just stay until the end of the video.
Yes.
So you guys, if you see us looking down at our phone a lot of time, that's because we jot out things that we don't want to forget, as usual. We just want to give you guys everything and not leave anything out. So the first step is you probably have applied for a visa before and you've not been granted, and that's why you want to apply for a resident permit. Or you don't want to go through the hassle of applying for a visa and you just want to go apply for a resident permit, and then you need all this information, right?
Yeah, and one thing is that visit visa, that they check everything on the person coming to the country, to Sweden or any Schengen country.
Yeah.
So everything is important with the person that comes there.
Yeah.
When you search for a permit, everything is important for the person living in Sweden or any other country.
Yeah.
So they check everything with that person in that case.
It's really hard, since I have applied for visa before. I know that it's really hard to convince the consular or the embassy that you would come back to your country, because they need you to have a property, or they need you to convince them that you go back to your job, because a lot of people don't even go back to their jobs.
No, but if you have a job, that's a good one too.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Or if you're a student in middle of your
maybe in university or something. But I would advise that if you have somebody that's living in Sweden, whether it's your parent or whether they're your parent, or you have like a spouse or someone who's living in Sweden or any part of Europe, I would advise don't start with a visa because sometimes I feel like visa can be like wasting of money. Sometimes, except you just want to visit the person, of course, go ahead and apply for a visa. But if your intention is to live in that country, just go straight to resident permit application.
Yes, because it's easier. It seems easier. For us, it was easier.
For us, it was easier. So we don't want to say it's easy, because there are a lot of people that want to watch this video that it's not easy for. So now, let's just go into all you need for a resident permit application. Now we're going to start with the things that we submitted for our own resident permit application.
Yeah, so we just take them one at a time straight down now, and then we talk about everything.
Yeah.
Work contract, payslips, house rent, personbevis, Rebecca's passport, spinster certificate, social media accounts, Instagram, YouTube, tickets for trip, proof of sending packages or gifts, call logs, messages and mails, pictures.
Yeah, these are all the things that we submitted.
Yeah.
And if you were confused about the YouTube and Instagram that we mentioned there, that's we took a screenshot, like we took pictures of our YouTube and our pictures of Instagram. That's what we added to our application. So now we're just going to go in detail and tell you guys what you need to apply for a resident permit application.
Yeah.
This application is online, so you're not going to go anywhere to apply for this. You just need to get your computer ready before you apply for this.
Yeah, you do it online, you pay it online. Everything is online.
Everything is online. So, of course, before you apply for a resident permit, what you need is your international passport. For the person that is going to Sweden, you need your international passport. Also, for your spouse or your whoever you're going to meet in the country also needs to have a passport from the country as well. A Swedish passport is what I mean. So get your Nigerian passport or get your South African or your Ghanaian passport, get that ready. And what I also notice is you don't want to have a passport that is about to expire. Make sure that your passport is at least has 3 years or more on your passport, because they don't give you a permit that is more than the date on your passport. So if your passport is going to expire in 6 months, they're not going to give you a permit that is more than 6 months. Swedish migration gives 2 to 3 years resident permit.
Yeah, if the passport is...
Yeah, if your passport has like that
enough, yeah.
long enough. So yeah, you want to do that first.
Yes. And have everything ready. All the things we're going to talk about, have that ready before you apply.
The reason why we say you should get everything ready is because you don't want your application to be delayed and you don't want it to take time.
Yes.
So you get everything ready before you apply.
Yeah.
So now, these are the things you need. The international passport, of course.
Yes.
And also, you need to make color copies of your international passport, not the normal black and white. You need them in colored copies.
Yes.
In fact, I would advise any copy of things you're going to use for this application, just make them in color, just to be safe.
Pictures, proof of your relationship, more or less.
Pictures is definitely proof of your relationship, because then if you guys have met before, you want pictures of the trips that you guys have had together. Even though it's not really stated on the sites that you need pictures, I think a lot of people don't know that they need to add pictures to the application. So what we did was we took pictures of screenshots from video calls, pictures of when we met in person, and we added all of this together. I made it like in a photo grid. I gridded them and made them into PDF.
Yes. So take a lot of pictures if you meet each other. That you need that proof.
Yeah.
To make them believe that you are in a relationship.
Yeah, and to apply for a resident permit, you need to have at least met one time.
Yeah.
You cannot apply for a resident permit if you have not met in person. So just forget it.
Chat history.
Yeah, you need your chat history and call logs. You need to go far back from. You need to go as far back as when you guys have been talking.
Yes, far back as possible. That's the way to prove it. And what we did was there too. We took parts from the timeline, screenshots, and put into documents. So we had it showing from start.
Yeah. And we were lucky because we applied for a visa twice before, and we already took some call logs before, because what we noticed from WhatsApp is WhatsApp call logs disappears after a long time. Yeah. So if you plan to apply for a resident permit now, it's later on, it's advisable to just start taking the the screenshot of those call logs just in case you need them like later on.
Yeah, because I think we had like 6 months of call logs or something.
When we applied. But then we have applied for visa before, so we took some of that as well. Yeah. That made it go far back. So what we did is we gridded it. We made the call logs in a place, and then the video calls call logs as well in one place, and named it calls, like phone calls or something like that.
And we had the chats too.
Yeah.
In
its own. And then we went to our gallery, like the pictures that we've sent to each other back and forth. When you go to WhatsApp, when you go to images on WhatsApp, you're going to see all the pictures that you send to each other. So we screenshotted that as well and put May, June, July, and I dated them like that, just to be specific that we've been talking for a very long time.
Yeah, and this is the good thing with talk a lot.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get a lot of logs on it.
Yes.
And show that you are real.
Exactly.
If you have sent gifts and stuff, save receipts or whatever as proof that you have known it, sent stuff to each other. So it's real.
Yeah.
Flight tickets, hotel bookings, if you meet, save that.
Exactly.
To show that you have met and how many days you've been together.
Exactly. And also, if you guys only met once and maybe we're not able to meet again because of Corona, and maybe you guys booked a flight or booked an hotel that you cancelled, you might also want to add that as well, as just to prove that you planned to visit before something happened.
Yeah. Exactly. Spinster certificate.
Okay, I had to submit spinster's certificate because I needed to prove that I was single since my application was to join my spouse. So if your application is not to join your spouse, you might not need like a spinster certificate. Maybe I don't know if you're going to meet your parents. Maybe you might need something relating to DNA. I don't know, but for spouse, we had to use spinster certificate.
Yeah, living arrangements. The migration is very hard on the living stuff, how you live. You need to have an apartment that is big enough, or a house that is big enough for both of you or kids or whatever you have. So it needs to be big enough. It needs to be a first-hand contract, or you can have a second-hand if your landlord agreed with letting you rent it second-hand.
Yeah.
That's important, because they will deny if you don't have this.
Yeah, exactly. If you have a child and then you're bringing in like a spouse, they want to know that the child has his own room, and maybe you and your spouse can stay in one room. But if you only have one room, for example, and you need to bring your spouse, that's not enough. So they really focus on the space of your apartment. And if you own a house, the house has to be in your name, for you to bring your spouse. So that you want to really look into and find out more.
Yes, and you get all that information on the migration site.
Yeah.
It says how much space you need for how many persons, for instance.
Exactly.
Most important thing in an application, that's the financial status. Because they have quite a hard financial thing. So you need to have a set amount of money every month. Over what you have in rent and all the other food and stuff. You have to have that money extra every month
and
to support the other person. And all that information is also on the site, because they change it from time to time. So it's good to check it up. And you need to be able to prove you have a job, or at least you have savings.
Of course.
If you don't have a job, if you have enough savings on your bank account, and that savings, if both of you have savings, for instance, that helps.
So the focus is not on you going to the country. The focus is usually on the person living in the country.
You have to be able to support
the person coming.
So that's the biggest thing. And it's quite hard sometimes. Employment letter from your work. You need to prove that you are employed, that it's a ongoing work. It's something that goes like a year at least, or 1.5. You need to have a contract on that. You need to leave pay slips the 3 latest months. They asked for 3, but I think we left 6 to be sure.
And then we left a bank statement.
Bank statements to show if you have savings or something like that. So also that was left 6 months. They asked for 3. But we wanted to be
for them
safe.
to see.
And personbevis, that's a Swedish word. So that's for the person living in Sweden. It's just a proof that you are who you are, that you are not married anymore or whatever, that you are single, you are everything about you, more or less. Have your parents and siblings, if you have that, all their birthdays?
Have their birthdays and their names and everything, because when we were applying, it was hard, because then I needed to start calling my mom and asking, what's your date of birth again? So
Same here.
You need to be ready when it's time to fill the form, because you need this information as well.
So get that information before you apply. Because they ask about everything.
On the form.
On the form.
So after when you've gotten all your documents ready, and remember to put all these pictures and call logs and everything, extra things in PDF. Now, when you fill in the form, you need to pay a fee for the resident permit. I think it's like €150 maybe.
Yeah, for resident permit it's 150 euro.
Yeah, then you need to pay that amount of money as well. You need to get that ready, and then you submit your form
Yes.
with every document that you've put in PDF, of course.
Yeah. When you've done that, you just wait.
Yeah.
This is a kind of a boring wait because it can take a very, very, very long time to hear from them again.
Yeah, it can take months, it can even take a year before you hear from them. Because when they reach out to you after a year or a couple of months, you want it to be that they are giving you a date for your interview. Yeah. But if your documents were not complete, they're going to send you an email asking for more documents. That's why we advise for you to be ready before you apply. So when they send you a mail and give you a date for your interview, they're going to, I think they're going to they told me to choose the date that was convenient for me for my interview. And I chose a particular date for my interview. So you would be told to do the same thing. Yeah. Embassy was not in Lagos when I applied because I was living in Lagos at the time. It was at Abuja. So I needed to pick a date that was far off because then I need to book a flight and take an hotel. And so I chose a date that was like 1 month after I got the mail. And then I went for my interview. And when I got to my interview, I was asked questions about my relationship with Micke, how we met, how long we stayed together in Gambia, why, because I sent YouTube pictures and everything. They asked why we started YouTube, what the reason was. They asked why we were on the show in Sweden, because we're on Eskaleska Inte, a show in Sweden. They asked every question concerning my relationship and even asked for Micke's kid's name. They asked for his parents' name. They asked for where he grew up in. So they just wanted to know how much I know this person. So if you really know your spouse well or know your partner well, it's not going to be hard. And just so you guys know, me and Micke met only one time in person. Then we applied for a resident permit. And they asked me and said, why did you guys meet one time? And I told them that they denied me visa twice. And then because of Corona, Micke could not come. So we had a very good reason for meeting just one time. So you might also want to have a good reason as well. So I think not getting the visa also kind of helped our resident permit because we could prove that we've tried to meet before and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
After your interview, you need to wait again.
Yeah.
Yes. And this can take months or it can take as long as, it depends on who is handling your case.
Yeah, we have heard a lot of different stories about this. It's taken from a few months to a couple of years if you are really unlucky, and it kind of depends on which migration office handles you more or less. It seems,
because it looks like they usually have a lot of cases, but in my case, after my interview, I got my application that the mail from the migration that my application has been approved in 2 weeks after my application.
And the thing is with this is, if your application, if you have started it a long time ago, there is a way to try to speed it up after the interview to get your decision faster. Because if you have applied 6 months before, or more than 6 months before your interview, you can send in a
request to conclude forms that you feel it's on the site.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, they conclude your case instantly, in a few days. And you get an answer fast, because some people, they end up waiting for this decision for a long time
because they don't know about the request to conclude case. And we got to know about most of these things because we joined a group on Facebook. We're going to put the link in the description to just help you guys. We saw a lot of people sharing their stories on that group, and we learned a lot from it. So we were so prepared when we were having our application.
Yeah.
Once you get a reply from the embassy, if your application is not approved, then this can be very devastating and very sad. You can still appeal that case, and take it to fill a form, appeal letter or something, or send that to the embassy. You can appeal it, and then I think they will tell you what the problem is, and then you can solve it. If it's not being solved, then you just need to reapply again and get ready, That's why we say just get ready, because you don't want to be denied. It's good to have everything ready than start up halfway and just I might get lucky. Just get everything ready so you don't get denied.
Yeah, and if you get denied, you're gonna get the reason why, because they will send it out to you.
Yeah.
Tell why. So then you need to fix that before applying again.
Exactly.
And I don't think if you have a denied case earlier, it doesn't matter when you reapply, because they check the recent one, so the one you are doing.
Yeah. If you were denied because you didn't meet like the house requirement, for example, and then you reapplied and then they see that you got the house thing fixed, you get it, you know.
Yeah.
So, and if you get approved, congratulations. You're gonna get a mail from the migration, and they're gonna tell you that your resident card will be sent to you in like 4 weeks. What you need to do is the embassy is gonna ship your resident card to your house, just like they did for me. But then you have to go to the DHL office next to you and pay them to pick up your resident card from the embassy. So the embassy will let you know. They'll send you a mail once your resident card gets to them, because they're going to send the card from Sweden to the Swedish embassy in your country. Once it gets to them, they're going to send you a mail that it's here already. And then you go to DHL, pay DHL, and DHL is going to pick it up from the Swedish embassy and deliver it to your home address. So you are going to pay for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all we did.
That's all we did, yes.
Yeah.
So that's how we got it.
Yeah, that's how we got it. So we really hope that this has been helpful for you. And we took some questions that you guys have asked just to clarify some things. We're going to answer a few of those questions now before we end the video.
Yeah, and many of them were already answered in this video. So we take those that weren't answered, more or less.
Yep.
Are there special qualifications before you can gain permit residency? And if you aren't up to those qualifications, what measures should you put into place or do?
We've mentioned all the qualifications that you need, or all the documents that you need. If you don't meet up to it, then wait until you meet up to it before you apply, because you just get denied. And that's more, that's really sad.
Yeah, and the toughest one is the financials mostly, and sometimes the living arrangements.
The living arrangement, yeah.
Especially here in Sweden, it's really hard to get apartments and stuff here at the moment.
Yep.
Were Becca's documents in English or Swedish?
All my documents were in English. That's the good thing about the Sweden in general. Is even as much as they have their own language, they speak English, and it's so good. So no, my documents were in English.
Yeah, and mine was in Swedish.
Yeah, his was in Swedish. And I think some of your document was also in
yeah, some I maybe wrote in English.
In English, some things you wrote in English. So yeah.
Can I apply for a degree program in Sweden with 3 years diploma from the university?
Yeah, I guess.
I think so. I'm not that good in this part, but it's probably quite easy to find out. Yeah. But I think so. I think your degree will
as long as you have the money,
count.
I guess, to go to school. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know if someone can be denied because of uneducated. No, there is no nothing that says you have to be educated in a special way.
Yeah.
Anyone can apply and be granted.
As long as you meet the requirements.
Yes. Yeah. My boyfriend is Swedish. After his first visit to me, can I apply for a residence permit? Yes, you can. Yes,
you can, because you need to have at least met one time before you apply for a residence permit. But then the only tough thing with that is then you need to prove the longevity of your relationship, like take pictures and everything. Just have them down for when you want to reply. That's important. Yeah. So you can.
Were you vaccinated when you traveled, or only had a COVID test?
I only had a COVID test when I was traveling to Sweden. That's the thing.
How many interviews did you do?
I had just one interview. All the application and everything, questions, anything was done online by mail. I only had one interview.
Yeah, and they did not interview me.
Yeah, they didn't interview Micke. Yeah.
They can do that.
They can do that sometimes.
That. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can you work in Sweden once you get your permit residence And how long does the application take?
Yes, you can work in Sweden with the resident permit. I know that, but the challenge with that is since Swedish is they have their language. You need to be able to speak Swedish to get like a good job. If you cannot speak Swedish, then you have to maybe just settle for cleaning jobs.
Yeah, or jobs that are more international.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something. But you can get a job.
Yeah.
That's not a problem with the permit.
Yeah, and for our application, it took only a few months. And we know that it is taking a lot for more people. So you can't judge based from us because everyone is, it's all about luck. This application is really about luck, really.
Yeah, it's so different. If you have a child, does your better half have to adopt him, or do you include him, her in the application? Do you have to be married? What are the full requirements needed for the application? The requirements we've gone through, and you can check it all up again.
Yeah.
You don't have to be married, not for Sweden at least.
Yeah, because in Sweden, marriage is not important.
No, it's not really important.
Yeah.
You not just need to be
to
prove
prove
that you are together.
Is
Yeah,
real.
exactly. That's, you don't have to be married.
Yeah.
With a child, I think you apply
For the child as
for
well.
the child as well. That's an own application, I think.
Yeah.
But you do it together.
Yeah.
So we have no child like that we applied for, so we are not sure how to do it though.
Yeah.
What documents did both of you have to submit, and do they look at woman's bank account?
We've talked about the document we submitted, and for my bank account, no, they don't look at my bank account for resident permit. They only look at that if I was applying for a visa, but no.
Yeah, and they could look at it if I didn't
meet the
requirements for the financial, then hers could have helped, for instance.
Yeah.
But now mine
was enough.
So
yeah.
How to apply a visa to Sweden if you don't have a partner there? I know you can apply. Not sure how you do it, and don't know how hard it is.
It's definitely hard if you don't have strong ties to your country, if you don't have good financials, if you're not like in school or have a job. It's definitely hard to get a visa. Even if you have someone in Sweden, it's still hard because you need to meet all those requirements for a visa. So yeah, just meet the requirement and go ahead and apply.
Hello, did you guys live together before applying for the residence permit?
No, we did not live together before applying for the resident permit. Even though they've, I think they might ask for that as well in the application form. You just need to say yes or no, but it's not compulsory. Really.
Yeah.
Even though that can also help.
That can help for sure.
Yeah.
Did you need to write an English proficiency exam or any language test at all?
No.
No.
I didn't have to do anything.
No, because when you get here, you go to a school for immigrants.
Yeah, to learn Swedish.
Yes. For me to be granted a Swedish resident permit, do I have to learn the Swedish language?
No.
No.
You don't
But
have to.
it helps if you want a job, for instance, to learn Swedish.
But that's just for a job. It's
Yeah.
not compulsory for the application.
Yeah.
Now we've answered all your questions, and we really hope that this video has been helpful. I wish that I had like a video like this when I wanted to apply, so we are very happy that we are able to make this video to help you guys. And if there is any other question you want to know that we've not answered in this video, just leave them in the comments and we will answer to them. Yeah, we hope that you've enjoyed watching so far.
Yeah.
See you in the next video.
Yes.
Bye,
Take
guys.
care.